Hello everyone and welcome back to Brooksburk Zoo. Welcome back to our second to last episode here in Brooksburk Zoo, because after today we're only having one habitat to build and then this zoo will be finished finally. Well, in the last episode we built for our South American area here in the back, where we are going to arrive in a few seconds. We built a habitat for the capuchin monkeys. We built this little aviary-like build and an outdoor area for the monkeys with lots of climbing stuff, climbing frames, and all that would make the animals happy. And in today's episode we are going to continue with the big combined South American area. In the last episode I told you guys that I'm not quite sure how to manage it, that we could combine all these three habitats. You see on the left side right now a glimpse of the habitat for the capybaras, here in the center the habitat for the capuchin monkeys, and we are going to build in today's episode the habitat for the maned wolf and the giant anteater. And by the end of the episode we will manage to combine all three habitats together so that we will have one big habitat. I don't want to spoil you guys, but I'm going to do it anyways. So it didn't completely work out the way I wanted it. But we're going into that in a second. I'm just going to tell you right now what I'm doing right here. You can see that I am extending the water area a little bit, well, not a little bit, so very much, to the right side, right next to our Madagascar house, right across the habitat for the tapirs. That is a little bit of preparation for our habitat for the giant otters. That is going to be the last habitat that we are building here in Brooksburk Zoo. So that was the preparation. Right next to our capuchin monkeys, where we are building the connection right here from our capybara habitat, is going to be the habitat for the giant anteaters and the maned wolves. So the idea was that we are going to have a gate right here where the capybaras could walk through, so they can actually go to the area where the maned wolf and the giant anteaters are, but the gate won't be big enough for the maned wolf and the giant anteaters to go into the habitat of the capybaras. So if the capybaras wanted to escape or to be left alone, they would be able to go back into their habitat and don't have the need to go into the habitat for the giant anteaters and the maned wolf. Well, this only worked partial. So that means in the end, the capybaras are able to go into the big habitat, but also the maned wolves are going to be able to walk into the habitat of the capybaras. The giant anteaters are not. Their hitbox is a little bit bigger than the hitbox of the maned wolf and the capybaras, so they are not able to go in there, but the maned wolf are. So I thought, well, shit happens. It is what it is, so we are going to leave it that way. What I haven't thought about is that our capuchin monkeys are able to walk everywhere. And they are doing that. Which is a little bit annoying because I didn't want to have it that way, but yeah. That's what it is in the end. So if any of you guys have a solution where we could combine all three habitats and have the animals still be able to stay mainly on their habitat, let me know in the comments. And with that being said, you know what time it is? Yes, this is the perfect time for you guys to hit the like button for today's video and also to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the last 2 episodes. So the last one that we are going to build for some animals and our final tour in Brooksburk Zoo. And also that you don't miss any future things that are going to happen here on my channel. Yeah, so as I said, if you guys have any clue, any ideas what to do to make this work the way I want to, just let me know in the comment section down below. So we are building a house right here that is very much like the house that we built for the capybaras, so that we do have the same design here. The idea behind all that is that this is maybe a little bit of a newer extension to the zoo. So here might have been some very classical and old habitats in the past right next to Brooksburk Castle, and we and the whole area underwent a huge renovation, and it was made place for the habitat for the South American area right here. So that's the idea behind that. So all of these buildings do look alike, so they are maybe not the newest, you will see it in the end. There's gonna be definitely a used look on those buildings. But yeah, it is an area that underwent a renovation. Let's say it that way. Okay, so after we built the indoor area, we are going to try to combine all the habitats. So we are going to have climbing frames that are going from the island of the capuchin monkeys into the habitat of the maned wolf and the giant anteater. You can see I extended also the concrete pieces to frame the island where the animals do live. The idea behind that was that our animals, so the giant anteaters, the capybaras, all of the animals that do live in here, do not jump into the water and swim around here. Well, spoilers again, this didn't work as well. In the end, when we are going to tour the habitat, you will see that we do have lots of animals swim in here. And for all the guys that know me, you know how much I hate animals to swim in this game. I don't want to see that, because that is something that most of the times don't happen in real zoos. Chances that you will see a maned wolf swim somewhere are very, very, very small, as well as seeing a giant anteater swim. Well, this might be more common, but still too much uncommon that I would be okay with that. But yeah, I tried to find a solution at the end of the video. You're going to see that in a few minutes as well. I tried to have some fencing on top of it to yeah, to separate the animals a little bit more from the water level, but yeah, it didn't work out as well. So yeah, there's that. Looks pretty, doesn't work the way it should. So here you can see something that you don't see me doing that often, building the barriers around the habitat, which was a little bit tricky, and I had to come up with some ideas how to connect all these habitats into one. Yeah, I told you guys, when you do something like this, when you do combine habitats with each other, you always have to take care how your animals can use all the areas, and also how your keepers are able to reach all the food enrichment items and all the feeders that are in the habitat. So we had to delete some of the gates. So the first one was the gate for the capuchin monkeys, you can see it right here. The next gate that we had to delete was the one for the capybaras, because you can only have one gate per habitat. So we are going to have this huge habitat and only one gate, which is going to be in the shelter for the maned wolf and the giant anteater. So we had to place a door in here so that we do have something like a fake gate, but no real gate. The only one that's working is right here in the indoor area for the anteaters and the maned wolf. So as we wanted our animals to stay on their habitats most of the time, we had to make sure that our keepers would be able to reach those areas. So I thought, let's try something. Let's try to build something like a little bridge with those bark pieces that we got from the, I think, which was it where we got the Red River hog? Was it the wetland one? No, that's not the wetland. The tropical. Yeah, the tropical DLC. That's what it was. So I used those bark pieces to create something like a small bridge in here. And the idea behind it was that this bridge might be small, might be too small for the anteaters and the maned wolf and the capybara to go on that island, but would be big enough for our keepers to walk over there. Well, in the end, it is big enough for all of them. I couldn't make it that small that only the keepers would be able to walk over there, and also the capuchin monkeys. Yeah, it always was possible for our anteaters and the maned wolf to walk over there as well, but which would be completely irrelevant, because as I told you guys, all of the animals were able to jump into the water and swim over there. So even if it was possible to make the bridge as small as I could and only the keepers would be able to walk over there, there would still be animals over there that should not be over there, because they would swim across the little water feature, let's call it that way. Yeah, so putting some climbing frames into the anteater habitat for our capuchin monkeys. Yeah, as I told you guys, my romantic vision of the thing was that the monkeys are going to stay on their climbing frames and only using them and not walking along the ground. Yeah, but you will see in a minute, we already do have a monkey right next to the shelter of the anteaters and the maned wolves. So, yeah. And we will also have the monkeys walk around the water area into the habitat of the capybaras. I don't know what they want over there, because there is nothing in that habitat that they would look for. So all of the toy enrichments they would need are in their habitat and are in their shelter. But yeah, they are so curious for what the capybaras are having, so that they can see what it is, that they just needed to walk over there. And I just don't get it. But in the end, once again, it is what it is. Here I connected the water feature for the capybaras with the with the water level in front of the habitat, because nevertheless they would swim in the front of their habitat. So I thought, why not combine both of them? Yeah, so now it is finally time to do some terrain work. I wanted to elevate the terrain in the back of this habitat a little bit, so that if the animals would walk around there, so if the capybaras would walk over there to get into the big habitat, or if the maned wolf or the anteaters wanted to walk in the back area, so that you actually could see it from the visitor's path, and that would only be possible to see them pretty fine if you have something like an elevated area in the back. So build something like a shade right here for our visitors when they wanted to look into the house for our animals, that you actually would have a better view. I just see that I forgot to extend the wooden beam on top of it. I have to do that off screen before the next episode, I think. Yeah, and as we are going into the last episode next week, I wanted to know from you guys, what is your favorite habitat here in Brooksburk Zoo? What do you guys like the most? I'm not quite sure about that, because there's many great habitats in there. Many great habitats that I do love. Many great buildings, because this is definitely the zoo of the buildings. When I think about it, we started with the Okapi house, which was a total game changer for the way I built here in Planet Zoo at that time. We do have the Madagascar house. The desert house. We do have the pygmy hippo house with the Red River Hawks in Red River Hawks in there. Brooksburk Castle for sure. We do have our Eurasian carnivore house, which is pretty awesome, and not to forget about our Oceania house. I hope I didn't forget about any building in here, but I think that's it. Yeah, and we do have so many different areas in here. We do have the classical zoo part, we do have the desert part, we do have the Paradise Beyond area. Yeah, Living Desert was it called. We do have the Paradise Beyond area. We do have the Garden of the Origins, and now we do have the Little South American area here. This zoo was so much fun to build, and I learned so many things by building it, because yeah, I tried so many different things, only to think about the Brooksburk barn, the restaurant, which was so cool to build, or our playground that we have next to the Brooksburk barn. I really do love this zoo, because it is so different. It started out as some kind of a city zoo that I wanted to build, and then all these special areas came to light, and it changed the whole look of the zoo. It is still a little bit of a city zoo, semi-realistic, and yeah, it was just so much fun to build that, and I can't wait for you guys to see what I'm coming up with next. Yeah, where we are definitely going to focus on building buildings, which I hated in the past, but I love now doing this, because I really love building animal houses, and I want to get into realism as much as I can, and as much as I still have fun with. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and especially because we are going to upload all the buildings that we are going to build in the new series to the workshop, so that you guys can enjoy it for yourself afterwards. And yeah, that is also something that makes me really happy, because I didn't use the workshop as much as I could have, and I think especially from Brooksburk Zoo, yeah, we do have the Madagascar house is on the workshop, and the Brooksburk barn is on the workshop as well, but I think that's it. There is nothing more that I did here in Brooksburk Zoo on the workshop. So yeah, the zoo as a whole is going to be on there once the tour is ready. Yeah, doing some greenery and some rock work here, putting in all the finishing touches. The trees in the background once again, and you will once again see what a huge difference this makes. So here you can actually see it looks so much better with all the trees in the background. Just putting a few trees in the habitat as well, that we do have a little bit of shade in there for our animals, so that they don't have to be in the sun the whole time. Some little tree ferns here and there. Yeah, and I really do like how the whole habitat looks right now. Just some color touches here and there. And then we are almost finished with the whole thing. We need some animal enrichment and especially food enrichment for our new arrivals here. Oh, and as we were talking about the new series, Let's Build a Building, let me know in the comment section as well which building you guys want to see at first. Do you want to see a nighttime house, a small mammal house, a reptile house, a house for big cats, a house for bears, for Australian animals, for monkeys, for... I would have said rodents, but we don't have any rodents in here. Whatever you want to see, just let me know in the comment section, and I would be happy to build a building for those animals first. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, and I'm very excited for that, what's coming in the future. Yeah, here you could see we had a little bit of a problem with the barriers because they were not finished completely, and this here is the fence that I put around, and you could already see that the main wolf was swimming, so it didn't work out. But here we are in the real-time part. We are going to walk through the gardens of Brooksburk Castle, right next to the tapirs and into our South American area. So I'm going to leave you guys alone with the rest of the footage here in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and if you did so, here's the second best time for you guys to hit the like button, to subscribe to my channel, and to see all what's coming next here on my channel. So have a great time, take care, see you next week, bye.